What's up, everyone? This is your host, Ghost, coming to you live. Another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? Apologize for the delay. Uh, Messed up my thing. I don't know. I didn't want to stream or anything. Um, but yeah, I'm finally here. Anyways, I want to apologize for yesterday's stream. I know it was terrible. But I have since gone down and gone to Xfinity and purchased myself an Xfinity Pod, so the stream should be better due to the fact that it's now kind of I guess directly plugged into my what's it call it. Basically, it's directly connected to the internet. My levels look good and everything, so I shouldn't have any issues as I did yesterday. Um, so yeah, so hopefully this will go a lot better. All right, so today's agenda, we're gonna check out the Trump's executive orders, and we're just gonna look through them all, give my thoughts on it. He's pardoned about 1,500 people involved in January 6th. And we'll check that out. We'll mainly just end up watching an 8-minute video of CNN freaking the fuck out about it, which is beautiful and hilarious. And the whole reason we wanted Trump to win is so that these liberal fucks who want to condemn January 6th call an insurrection, but refuse to condemn and call the summer love any threats or something like that, actually support such a thing. So fuck them. We're gonna enjoy this and watch as their explodes. Their mind explodes. I hope my stream deck's coming out for y'all. Which it should. I'm finally doing OBS, and I should be able to use my stream deck far more often. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get to. Oh, and then finally, we'll talk and we'll watch a video by President Sunday, and look at Not So Erudite's Twitter statement, whatever. Destiny has a scandal going on. And I know, shocking, the degenerate's having such a scandal. He's had some nudes leaked of him in various situations, but also ended up causing another individual's nudes to leak as well, or sex tape or something involving her that she did not consent to it being shared. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know the photo or whatever it is, but we're gonna check that out. And we're gonna go through Destiny scandal. We'll get the details from President Sunday and watch it and laugh at his at Destiny's misfortune, and give our thoughts about these women that he's slept with, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to it. So first things first, let's check out Trump's executive orders / the pardons he has done. So let's see. All right, there we go. Still got that Trump 2024 right there. I should change that and change it President Trump. That's what I should do. I'll change that eventually. Hopefully the setup's a little better now. Now that I can actually, got OBS, got shit going through. All right. Excuse me. All right, let's go through it. So, as I said, okay. There we go. What the hell? All right. OBS is weird. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Just minus that. Minus that. Sorry, I'm trying to get it. So there we go. What the hell? Why does it gotta be so difficult, eh? All right. So like I said, Trump has pardoned some about 1,500 people who were involved in January 6, 2021, the riot at the U.S. Capitol, sweeping grant of clemency that filled a campaign trail promise and upended years of the Justice Department's efforts. Their efforts being, of course, that they were Those efforts, of course, being the fact that they, uh, there we go. That's better. Uh, those efforts, of course, being that, they were persecuting these people for showing up on a particular day. That's basically what January 6th is all about. They show up on a day. They did some stuff that people didn't really like, and that's about it. They try to call it an insurrection, but never seemed to be able to charge anyone with an insurrection at all. Although they claimed it was an insurrection and the darkest day in our country's history, blah 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 blah. Yet failed to uh failed to charge anyone with an insurrection. But it was such an obvious insurrection that it was so obvious. But yet no one could charge any of these people with an insurrection. It's weird how that works, right? It was so obviously an insurrection, yet it wasn't obvious enough to legally be able to charge anyone with an insurrection. So, now keep in mind these including these 1,500 people are people that have been waiting around for a trial, haven't gotten a trial, due process out the window, speedy trial out the window. People that were charged and convicted for just being there. Like, it was ridiculous. And I just want to point out that I don't remember 1,500, even close to 1,500 Black Lives Matter protesters who burned down cities being charged. So it's hilarious. Oh, and this also comes after Biden gave sweeping pardons to his family and many of his cohorts, even though saying that he wouldn't do such a thing, denying that he would do such a thing. But of course, when push came to shove, what did he do? He did that. He did what he said he wasn't going to do. While Trump said, hey, I'll look at it at a case-by-case basis for the people that actually commit crimes, but the individuals who didn't really didn't do much except just be there, maybe go inside a building, yeah, I'll pardon them. But the individuals that did serious crimes, I'll have to look at that on a case-by-case basis. And I think for those people, he hasn't actually pardoned them. He was looking into commuting their sentences. Something Biden also did with a bunch of murderers and whatnot, right? Was it murderers? He just ended up commuting a bunch of sentences to people. So, but of course, only when Trump does it is it bad. All right, moving on. Immigration. So Trump signed a slew of executive orders on Monday aimed at delivering on his long-promised crackdown on illegal border crossings and immigration more broadly. He also declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, deploying U.S. armed forces to the region. He intends to end birthright citizenship by issuing an executive order that would reinterpret the 14th Amendment that grants citizenship to all people born on domestic soil, a move that drew swift legal challenges, including from Democratic attorney generals. What's more hilarious about his desire to end birthright citizenship is you get slews of morons on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, saying, "Oh, so he's going to JD's Vance's wife, she's gonna be lose her citizenship." No, dummy, that's not what that means at all. Not you couldn't there'd be no way. Even if he ended up reinterpreting this, which I don't think is gonna happen. I think this is a lofty goal. That's not even gonna come close to happen. But even if he did somehow get it done, it wouldn't be retroactive. It would be from this day forward. Boom. Come on. But also, when it came to JD Vance's wife, Trump's own wife, Melania, they're both citizens now. What are you talking about? You can't just strip them of the citizenship that they have now. Not only, have they been citizens for a vast number of years, they're also married to U.S. citizens, and we know this because you can't be president or vice president and not be a U.S. citizen. Sorry. So it just shows how dumb leftists are. That they're like, oh well, now JD's Vance's wife because she's Indian, she's gonna end up have her citizen ripped out. And I don't know the background on JD Vance's wife. I saw that she was born in California. Or maybe her family was already worse U.S. citizens. I have no idea, nor do I care. It doesn't matter because it's not going to be retroactive, one. But also, two, she's married to a U.S. citizen. So it would just end up, oh, let's fast track. Like, even if that were the case where, oh, it's retroactive. So everyone that was born in the United States that didn't have U.S. citizens as parents, we're going to take away your citizenship and ship you back to wherever your family's from or some shit like that. It just wouldn't work because she's married to a U.S. citizen, and she goes like, all right, let's just fast track this bitch. Like, it's so dumb. The people are just morons. I hope this my audio is a little better, but it's just hilarious. Like, that's my favorite part about the citizenship thing. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's really funny seeing all these morons like trying like, oh well, now Trump's wife is gonna be kicked out. No, that's not gonna that's not how it works. Oh, JD Vance's wife's gonna be kicked out. Yeah, no, that's not how it works either, you idiots. All right, Trump also moved to resume construction of the border wall. Awesome. And so-called catch and release. It's not so-called. It is catch and release. They catch him, and then they release him inside here. Temporarily suspend refugee resettlements from certain countries for at least 4 months. Restart the Remain in Mexico policy of his first term. Restrict asylum using 212F of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Designate drug cartels and gangs as foreign terrorist organization, and invoking the Aliens Enemy Act of 1798 to remove them, or as he put in his inaugural address, eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil. Now, what's important about him designating gangs or cartels and gangs as foreign terrorist groups, it gives more power to for the federal government to go after these guys. They can use FISA and all sorts of things. Basically, they're able to spy a lot better at these criminal networks and gangs, and they are. You could consider them terrorists because whenever someone tries to go after them, they try to instill fear in them. So, but I would love to see the leftists trying to argue against this right here. Okay, it'd be funny. Direct the incoming Attorney General to seek capital punishment for the murder of law enforcement and capital crimes committed by undocumented immigrants. That's nice. If he's going to do that, he should also put in an express lane. Energy. Trump wants to drill, baby drill. He's going to do it by declaring a national energy emergency. That would give him the power to increase domestic energy production and undo many of Biden's administration's clean energy policies. The White House also announced the U.S. will withdraw again from the Paris Climate Accords. Let's see. Among Trump's other planned moves, issued a memorandum detailing a government-wide approach to bring down inflation, according to Trump's team, ending what his team referred to as an electric vehicle mandate, and leasing to massive wind farms that degrade our natural landscape and fail to serve Americans' energy consumers. So, so that's nice. That's really great. It's going to be great when gas is back to $2 a gallon again. Remember that? Like, everyone's like, oh, well, Biden had the highest oil, blah, blah, blah. Then why was gas still $3? Like, fucking Trump's was down to close to 2 before the pandemic. Scamdemic, however you want to call it. Oh, don't forget also Biden decided to pardon Fauci. So that's nice. All right, want to work from remote? Good luck. Trump signed executive orders last night focused on the federal workforce, including one order instructing all U.S. government departments and agencies to require employees to return to office, ending any remote accommodations. Trump also announced hiring freeze over the executive branch except in essential areas. The president also removed job protections for tens of thousands of government workers, which the White House said was necessary to rein in what Trump described as deep state bureaucracy. So, I'm not sure. I could care less, but yeah, I don't think there was anything bad about having workers work, that could work from remote, federal workers that could work remotely, continue to work from home. It would definitely cut down on, cost when it comes to like, building energy, buildings, uh, and all that, rent spaces to rent, stuff like that. So I don't think, necessarily needed to bring, force people to come back to work at an office. I think it might have been better just to let them work from remote. But I haven't really looked into this. Uh, Again, I don't think we need a bunch of government drones to be in a building to even come close to, attempt to effectively run the government or whatever they need. So I think he should have left this alone. It probably helped with childcare and stuff like that too. So I disagree with this part here. I think if you're able to um, cut down on government waste, I would say keeping workers that can work remote and not take up space in an office. I think that'd be one way to do it. That's just me. Again, I could care less, honestly. But well, I think people, if they are able to work from home, should be able to work from home. I don't see why it would be necessary for them to work in an office. I guess it's just me. Um, with the technology we have nowadays, like if they were just as effective as working, as they were working from the office as they are working from home, then who the fuck cares, honestly? All right. Trump's other planned moves end radical and wasteful diversity training programs, as well as environment justice programs, equity related grants, and equity initiatives. Freeze hiring except in essential areas to end the onslaught of useless and unpaid and overpaid DEI activists buried into the federal workforce. Freeze the issue of new regulations, direct agencies to address the cost of living crisis, restore freedom of speech and preventing government censorship, creating the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. So that's the one Elon's heading. Apparently, what's his name? Vivek is out of there. He's not doing it anymore, which kind of sucks, but we'll see. He's probably running for governor. I think I saw he's going to run for governor, so for Ohio. So I mean, well, it is. Um. So restoring freedom of speech and preventing government censorship. Remember, we had, with the Twitter files and Mark Zuckerberg coming out and saying, "Hey, the federal government came in and told me to censor people or censor stories, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." So that's what that response is to. It's kind of ironic considering what Elon Musk did once once he got a bunch of backlash for the H-1B thing. But who cares? It's good steps. Ending DEI is always the best. It's always the best thing to do. All right. Trump said in his speech that the White House will instruct the State Department and Department of Homeland Security, as well as other agencies, to remove non-binary and other options from federal documents, including passports and visa, according to an incoming administration official. It will officially be the policy of the United States that there are only two genders, male and female. That's awesome. I love that. With the full power of the U.S. government, I now can declare there's only two genders. Fuck you. Oh, that's going to be funny. I can't wait to see the outrage over that. And then, of course, he removed the U.S. from the World Health Organization. Remember, these are the same people that bullshitted their way with the scamdemic, the cough. Remember that. So don't forget that. So everyone's like, "Oh, we're leaving the WHO." Yeah, remember when they were getting questioned by about COVID, and was it the speaker, the head of it, was not only pretending he couldn't answer the chick's question or hear the chick's question, but then when she tried to ask again, it was either the head or a representative. I can't remember which, but he pretended not to hear her question, and then when she tried to ask it again, said, "Oh no, let's just move on." Remember that. That was the WHO. That was someone from the WHO. Remember that. And then Trump's other plans reinstate military members who were penalized for not getting vaccinated against COVID-19 with full back pay. Don't forget that, CNN or Politico. This is interesting. Like, I like the idea, of course, but like, I hope there's an option, because what if they got better jobs? Like, since they got, for not getting vaccinated against the cough. What if they got better jobs since then? And like, I like way more than that. I don't want to be reinstated. Will they still get the back pay up until, all the way up until they joined that company? I think that'd be fair. But who knows? All right. Let's see. Trump has not enacted any new tariffs yet. Instead, he issued an order on Monday directing federal agencies to investigate and address trade deficiencies and unfair trade and currency practices. Other plans are impose a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada on February 1st. They're like, despite pledging to do these tariffs day one. And establish the ERS, the External Revenue Service, aimed to collect tariffs and other revenue from foreign nations. Nice. So, there's a big stink about the tariffs. Everyone's so terrified about tariffs. Oh, they're going to start a trade war. Oh, come on. We'll be fine. Now, remember what the tariffs are. It's going to hurt for a little bit. But eventually, it'll be okay. Unless we put a Democratic in office, and then they'll, back off easily and end up ruining all the plans. So, and the rest is extend the deadline for TikTok to be divested and banned, a move that was questionable legally. Suspend U.S. foreign assistance programs for 90 days, pending a review of whether they align with his agenda. Renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. He'll also return Mount Denali in Alaska to the name Mount McKinley. I mean, that's just, some political move, something that important. The Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America is hilarious. There's so much to go on with that. Like, you could take, like on our maps, we could call it the Gulf of America, but doesn't mean other foreign, nations are going to agree. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Funny. And then TikTok, I could care less about TikTok, honestly. Doesn't matter to me. All right. So let's check this out. Like I said, we're going to talk about the pardons, and we're going to watch CNN's freak out over this. All right, hold on. I had this like all good earlier. There we go. That's better. All right, so let's listen in. This is CNN reacting to the pardon of J6 defendants. So let's listen in. Let's see how angry these people are that a president would use his office to pardon people, hostages, as Trump likes to call them, hostages. So let's listen to how angry they are about this.
It was a fascinating window on, clearly he's very happy to be back in the Oval Office, very happy to be back on TV. You can imagine him saying a lot of those things.
Oh, also, did you guys see him signing those executive orders? Like, he did a bulk of them. Like, bulk of those executive orders he signed after his inaugural speech in front of everyone, after their wonderful parade for him and whatnot. And then afterwards, he tossed some pens in the air to throw at people. Like, I was watching that, I couldn't help but wonder. It's like, I wonder what would happen if Biden tried to throw those pens. He'd probably fall and hurt himself. He'd probably break a hip, can't get up. So, anyways, let's listen.
Every day in Mar-a-Lago over the last 4 years to assemble guests time and time again.
I think also he said, "Gee, did Biden do this?" I think he wanted to set a contrast with Biden, by going sort of having this rolling press conference, And
I mean, we rarely have seen something like that of a president just riffing from the.
yeah, and it's and there's a reason for it, because the words of a president can actually send armies marching and markets tumbling and have real consequences. I think, look, I actually think it's refreshing for presidents to be. I mean, I was among those who was critical of the lack of exposure of President Biden, and I think it's good for presidents to be exposed. It's better if they tell the truth when they're doing it. And as Daniel just said, a lot of that wasn't there. But we ought to focus on the sort of headline issue here. There are a lot of consequential things he did, but that ceremony today was in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. Everybody here remembers what happened there 4 years ago when that mob came through. Everybody remembers the gallows. Everybody remembers the chants. Everybody remembers the assault on 160 police officers. Is that the number? And basically, he said those people were hostages. I saw him today at his rally in front of a group of families of Israeli hostages who were taken by Hamas in Gaza, and he talked about freeing the January 6th hostages. These are not hostages. These are people who either confessed or were convicted of crimes.
Well, let's ask the question then. If they confessed, what was their incentive to confess? Okay, like did they confess because they felt they were guilty, or they confessed when they were like, hey, because the government came back and was like, hey, we'll charge you with something even worse. And hold on. Hello? All right, I'm going to try and restart the stream.